Hello and welcome to the Slider Shark Mini Bundle reel review. Since we couldn't find anybody that has done a real hands-on review of this yet, it's all been just product demonstration. We got it a couple days ago, and here's what we're noticing. Here's the app, and I have it in target mode. I'm going to put the little guy back on here so you can actually see Sparky, who we're just keeping in. It works very well as far as the pan tilt, smoothness, and reliability of the move itself. The only thing is on the, if you can see it here, I'm going to try to get that into focus. On the app, there is no ramping at the ends. So it does a hard stop at the end, comes back, it does a hard stop at the next end. Luckily with the GH5 we have some image stabilization in there, so that doesn't really affect it too bad. It doesn't jerk it. They should have ramping, so hopefully on the app at some point in the future it'll have a ramp mode that'll help it smooth toward its ends. Since it's a new product, figuring that's a firmware update in the not too distant future. The other thing that we're noticing, it does take some weird little Sony batteries, and with this we have it in loop mode to go back and forth because 95% of what every shooter does is this type of interview setup where you just want that nice motion slide, parallax articulating your subject. And what happens with this one is that the only real bummer is it stops randomly. Sometimes it goes for a couple of slides and stops. Sometimes it goes for a half an hour or 45 minutes. Eventually it always stops. Now, yes, the battery will run out. Right now the battery, which the app is actually good for that because it gives you the batteries up in the corner here. Right now the batteries, both are at about 50%. That's a really good thing to know because you want to know how long you have. You can also add, there are two slots, one on each unit, the slider unit and the pan tilt unit, that you can plug in a micro USB, either plug it into something through a USB port or just bring an extra larger battery to plug it into, which I've done, and that'll make it last all day long. I'd say these little batteries last for 2 or 3 hours in use, so that's not so bad. So yeah, I mean overall we like it, but it's got these glitches. Some of the other issues, well, here, I'll give you actually one issue that's a good issue, is you can get out of this app and be on your phone. You can even kill the app, and it'll keep going, which is good because obviously you want to be able to take a phone call or run another function on something else. You bring this back up, make sure it's going to want to know it's connected. So I'm going to reconnect those two things. Now it knows that they're there. And okay. And we're back in. So now I'm going to pause it. So pause there. If I restart, this is how you get to the loop mode. That's just doing it one time. If you go out to the regular app though, it's got 6 different things here. The problem with most of these, they don't work so great. Like, I don't know what to make of the interface on this one yet. I haven't watched the tutorial. I will, though the tutorials are very lacking on this. I have watched the tutorial for the manual one, and this does not make it the way you do curves on this and how you slide it. Right now it's sliding one way, slides the other. You can pan tilt, which all works great. The only problem is this doesn't really do anything that I notice. Like you go to the end and it stops like it always did. You do this, you go to the other end, it's not really slowing down. It just stops like it always does. So I don't see much of a difference there. I'm going to cut it off at this point. I hope we get some feedback from either iFootage or the users, any of you users out there that have this, that have tried it. We love the unit. It's super light. It's not too loud. You could probably hear a little bit of a hum. It's actually a singular note, so it's easy to take that out if it were to get near an interview. So overall, we really like it, hoping it gets better though. It needs better app, needs definitely some ramp functions, and wondering why it stops in the middle of a target thing that's on loop.